Now we've laid out where all our components are. Our next thing to do is to sketch out the general shape and hone down sort of some of the outside components of the face. Okay. First thing I want to do is I've established a center line here for my joystick. I want to do this again going down. I want that same line going straight down. Whoops. I don't care how long it goes, as long as it's past my components. I just need some place. What I'm going to basically do is I'm going to sketch just one side of the joystick, and then I'm going to mirror that to the other side. That way they're both perfectly symmetric, and I don't have to worry about trying to make them exactly the same. They'll just be the same. All right, so I'm going to just start with a line tool. I'm going to turn off my construction line because I need this to be cuttable. And I want to stay about, because the thickness of the walls for the 3D printed base is going to be 3 millimeters. So I want to make sure that I'm at least 3 millimeters away from all my components. Anything like for this piece, I want the 3 millimeters from this edge here so that this thing has some room to poke out and actually go in into the hole. All right, so I'm going to do a line, I don't know, here-ish. At this point, we're going to readjust where all this stuff is. And then I'm going to come down here. I want to include, get right to the edge of that Arduino. So I'm going to go like there-ish. And then give me some space here, because this is the right side for me is where the Arduino is going to have the silver part's going to be kind of poking out. So I want to make sure I'm running the edge close to that. And then I'm going to go right back here to the middle. Okay. And I noticed on mine, I actually have this little kink here. So I'm going to delete this and just do it over again real quick. Did not include that. So I'm just going to add that little bit of shape to it here. I don't know, about there, about like that, about there-ish. A little bit from that Arduino, not too far. And then maybe back over to the side here. All right, that looks pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and mirror it so I can see what it looks like. So I'm gonna hit the mirror command. And actually, let me cancel that first. I'm gonna round over this corner here. So I actually want to create that round over to start with. And that's getting pretty close to that component there. Hit escape to leave the round, whoops. Do that fillet again. And I think I'm gonna go 20. Okay, so at this point, I got pretty close. So I'm just going to extend this out a little bit, maybe move this around. I wanted to stay at least 3 millimeters away from this corner, maybe give myself a little bit of extra space. At the same time, I don't want to get the joystick so far from the center that my thumbs can't reach it. So I just kind of play with where I think that might be. That looks pretty good. And then I want this to be 3 millimeters from the edge here for that thickness of the wall. And maybe I'm going to add an extra millimeter onto that. So I'm going to do a 4 millimeter thickness here, or distance. So I'm going to hit D for dimensioning. Click on this, the line for the breadboard, and then click on the line of my outside. And I'm going to make that 4. And that makes that pretty small. Maybe I bring this down. Oh, escape. Escape to leave that dimensioning tool. Bring it a little closer. I'm just going to play around until I have something where I think looks pretty good. I like that sharper angle in there a little bit. And maybe I'm going to round over this one. Not quite as much as this. I put a big round over here because that's where my finger's going to wrap around the joystick. So I'm just thinking through that. And maybe I'm going to pop a fillet down here too. Get this one side as close to done as you can. You don't need quite as much on that one. And those two I'm going to leave kind of sharp. I think that might look neat. And I think that for me, that's good. I think I've kind of got the outline in. And now I'm just going to do a mirror tool. So I'm going to mirror all of these lines, including that little round over right there. And make sure I'm getting them all. Yep. And I'm going to choose the mirror line to be this center line here. And notice that's drawn this other side for me. I said, okay. I'm going to make sure that I've got good clearance from all these other lines. If you did that and it did not turn light blue like this, that means that you didn't actually connect either this line or this bottom line to your center lines. So just check that and fix that. Let's see, I think everything looks pretty good. I'm at least 3 millimeters from there. I'm a good 3 millimeters there. Yeah, I think this might be my final design. Now, before I move on, I need to position the holes for the joysticks. And those are centered. So what I'm measuring, let me pop the top of the joystick off. So what I'm measuring here is make sure the orientation is correct. So for me, they're going to both be in, this is the top of the, so they're going to be in sort of this way for me. And then, so I'm going to go on and measure that. So the whole thing is going to pop through, and then the other way this way. It is not a square, it is a rectangle. For me, it is, I'm going to give it a little extra space. Round that up a little bit. Make sure everything can clear. I've got my measurements, and now I'm going to create another construction line down the diagonal of each of these two joysticks, and then one down here as well. That way I can center this rectangle. Well, that can't be a good sign. I'm going to hit Control S because my computer's slowing down a little bit. I don't want to crash. And now I'm going to grab a rectangle tool. I'm going to come over here to the right hand side and click Center Rectangle. And I'm going to turn off the construction lines because it's going to be an actual hole I'm going to create. And I'm going to use those measurements I got before for the width and the height. And I'm going to hit Enter. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. Oops, escape. I need to get a center rectangle. Come over here, center rectangle, find the center of that line, and then do the same thing on this side. Okay, so those are the holes for the joysticks. That's the hole for the LED. That's the hole that's going to punch through for the power or the on-off switch. And I don't think there needs to be any other holes in it. So now I'm ready to extrude. So I'm going to E for extrude. I'm going to click on this outside shape here, and I'm going to extrude this. This part's important for the orientation of everything. We've been designing so that everything is on the top surface. So I'm going to actually pull this down through this way, and I'm going to do a negative 5.3 so that my sketch is on the top of it now. All right, so that is my plywood face. So I'm going to hit A for appearance, wait for that menu to show up. I'm going to choose a wood type just so I can keep in my mind what's what. I like to use bamboo light, but use whatever you'd like, and close. Awesome, so that is our joystick face. Our joysticks will be underneath and popping out through here. The LED light will stick through here, and the on-off switch will be right through this hole. Hopefully you've gotten this far and everything's been working out great. In the next video, we're going to learn how to extrude this shape down to make the base and then hollow it out and cut holes in it. All right, great job. Hang in there.